Senate confirmation hearings for Judge Coney Barrett are underway. A Supreme Court blogger explains the swift process to confirm the judge.
As voters prepare to drop off their ballots, we'll show you how to find the ballot box that's closest to you.
Thousands of people are demanding support for Armenia. A board member for the USC Armenian Student Association explains why students should help.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
I have been nominated to fill Justice Ginsburg's seat, but no one will ever take her place. I will be forever grateful for the path she marked and the life she led.
Senate confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Coney Barrett are now underway. I'm Hebroni reporting from Los Angeles.
And I'm Ani-Ofong, also reporting from Los Angeles. Today, Judge Barrett vowed to uphold the Constitution. Our politics reporter Luke Scorziell has more on today's hearing.
Judge Coney Barrett faced the Senate Judiciary Committee today for her first round of confirmation hearings. The former Notre Dame law professor was nominated by President Trump just 13 days ago. In her introduction, Barrett emphasized the importance of an independent judiciary.
I believe Americans of all backgrounds deserve an independent Supreme Court that interprets our Constitution and laws as they are written. And I believe I can serve my country by playing that role.
The hearings drew activists from both sides. Barrett's opponents said that whoever wins on November 3rd should nominate a justice, while supporters believe the seat should be filled as quickly as possible. Republicans on the Judiciary Committee accused Democrats of religious bigotry, while Democrats called on voters to get rid of President Trump.
When you tell somebody that they're too Catholic to be on the bench, when you tell them they're going to be a Catholic judge, not an American judge, that's bigotry. The pattern and practice of bigotry from members of this committee must stop.
This isn't Donald Trump's country. It is yours. This shouldn't be Donald Trump's judge. It should be yours.
From nomination to confirmation, it has taken an average of 78 days to confirm each of the 8 current Supreme Court justices. Republicans are hoping to confirm Barrett before the election, a window of just 22 days. We spoke with Katie Barlow of SCOTUS blog about the Republicans' rush to confirm Barrett.
They want to get everything done before November 3rd, which means they've got to get it done with enough time to get an actual vote on the Senate floor. But Judge Coney Barrett was already confirmed to the 7th Circuit just 3 years ago, which means she went through a lot of this process already.
Senate Judiciary hearings will last until Thursday this week. Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham is planning a committee vote on October 22nd, with a vote on the Senate floor scheduled before November 3rd, the day of the presidential election. Back to you, Lauren.
In Orange County, the district attorney is investigating possible counterfeit ballot collection boxes. This comes after a church in Passaic incorrectly labeled an unauthorized drop box as official. These are the 5 official ballot drop box locations near USC: the Expo Vermont Metro Station, the Exposition Park Los Angeles Public Library, the Amundsen Senior Citizen Center, the Lauren Miller Recreation Center, and the Dunker Recreation Center. You can find the nearest drop box at lavote.net. As of Friday, voters in California have sent in almost 280,000 ballots. With only 3 weeks until Election Day, voters have the option to place their ballots in drop boxes located across the state, mail them in, or vote in person.
Helping those in need is always a good thing to do. Donating, volunteering, and advocating are all ways to help. There are organizations everywhere that give back. But one to me stands out, because it's run by my own relatives. Meet Ryan and Jarrell Casey, co-founders of the Casey Fund, a nonprofit organization that gives back to the community to, quote, level the playing field for all.
So the Casey Fund has 2 specific impact groups. Our first is youth and children, and ensuring that we give them the proper resources to be successful. The other hand is there are people that are transitioning out of prison back into society, and we want the same kind of concept, pouring resources into that community to ensure that they're successful.
For Jarrell Casey, he's a personal connection to help those in prison.
One, I have a brother that's incarcerated, and my whole life now kind of think about it is, how can I make it better for him when he come home?
In an election year, one way to help those transitioning from prison is getting their voting rights restored. That's where partner organization Free Hearts comes in. With the help of the Casey Fund, Free Hearts is paying the fees that will make them eligible to vote.
This is something that we're going to continuously be working on because we want to make sure that people that have been formerly incarcerated are not locked out of our democracy.
Which the Caseys could not agree with more.
At all times, it is important that people's voices are heard. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past because you're still living in society now.
The partnership has resulted in more than 50 people's voting rights restored, and just in time for this year's election. For Annenberg Media, I'm Caleb Michael.
Over the weekend, at least 150,000 people gathered in the streets of Beverly Hills to demand justice and bring light to a crisis many feel is not getting the attention it deserves. Meantime, USC's Armenian Students Association has raised $30,000 for the charity Armenia Fund.
The USC students should care about the Azerbaijan-Armenian conflict, as USC houses a big number of Armenian students outside of Armenia and in their institution. And we're such a small community, and this conflict has exhausted all of our efforts financially and emotionally, as this is a huge humanitarian issue, and we need the supports of large institutions and our fellow Trojans to speak up and stand for the cause.
A new study by the Australian Centre for Disease Preparedness showed that coronavirus can survive on surfaces for up to 28 days in certain temperatures. We spoke with a medical expert about how these new findings impact our safety precautions.
The main way that this virus spreads is through those respiratory droplets in the air. But I still think this is an important study because it does highlight that there probably are some instances in which surface transmission can occur, and it makes sense to take simple precautions. This does not necessarily provide compelling data that the virus actually transmits in a significant way through phone screens. So you don't need to make yourself crazy about it. Simple things, hand washing, wash off that phone screen a couple times a day, but don't make yourself crazy about it.
The study claims that the virus is more likely to survive in temperatures 68 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Commonly used surfaces such as phone screens and cash are prone to host the virus. Though respiratory droplets still hold the greatest risk for transmission, health experts say it's critical to disinfect potentially contaminated surfaces.
Today is Indigenous Peoples Day. It's meant to honor the history, culture, and contributions of Native Americans, often left out of the traditional U.S. history narrative. It is celebrated on the second Monday of October, and since 1990 has begun to be celebrated in place of Columbus Day. 14 U.S. states recognize Indigenous Peoples Day in place of Columbus Day. Alabama and Oklahoma honor both holidays. Los Angeles changed its laws to replace Columbus Day back in 2017. We spoke to two members of the indigenous community about the holiday, the first of whom is also a reporter with Annenberg Media.
I would hope that they do take the time to at least recognize whose land they're on, no matter where they are in the nation. Right now, even in Los Angeles, we do sit upon traditional Tongva homelands, and just, acknowledging that in all different, even the speeches, and knowing who we are and where we stand is amazing. And also just, educating yourself on Indigenous issues that are affecting us.
We are here, Native people are here, we're still here. We're not just, pages in a history book, but we're living, breathing people who continue to have a cultural identity. We're not just another ethnic group within the United States, but we are a unique peoples. Recognizing Indigenous Peoples Day is a cause for celebration. So before we can start deconstructing the systems, we have to be able to deconstruct the social norms.
The Autry's Museum exhibition, When I Remember I See Red, American Indian Art and Activism in California, opened today, spotlighting Native Californian artists. It features aspects of resistance and Native American oppression, including women's roles in Native American history. The exhibition is available virtually through January.
Hi, I'm Carlo Jiménez, reporting from Campbell, California. USC Athletics started new COVID-19 testing today through the Pac-12's partnership with Quidel. Head football coach Clay Helton said the new tests are both efficient and help create a safe environment to play.
And as we know, with the Quidel testing, the results are coming back in 15 to 30 minutes at the most. So before you even step on practice field, you know exactly where you're at.
The rapid tests take no more than 5 minutes to administer, and student athletes receive appointments to minimize foot traffic. USC star athlete Talanoa Hufunga said the safety precautions the school is taking helped open up an opportunity to play.
A blessing, honestly. Being able to have this testing is just a way for us to get on the field.
Quidel will be essential in the Trojans' quest for another Pac-12 championship and in their quest to stay COVID-free. From one team preparing to start their season to another that just finished on top, let's toss it to Rachel with a final update from the NBA bubble.
The LA Lakers are NBA champions once again. Even though fans are eager to celebrate with the team, LA County and city officials say that a championship parade will have to wait. The Lakers earned their trophy in the bubble with a wire-to-wire blowout win against the Miami Heat. LeBron James's leadership was recognized as he was named MVP. The win proves the resilience of the Lakers in this unusual time.
I think this season is going to be remembered for representing a whole lot more than basketball, and I think the Lakers need to be saluted for finishing as the champion in a season like this.
A historic victory for the franchise. The last time the Lakers won the finals was in 2010 when they were led by late Lakers legend Kobe Bryant. This title marks the team's 17th finals win, tying the Boston Celtics for the most all-time. Team owner Jeannie Buss also became the first female controlling owner to win a championship. Thousands of fans gathered outside the Staples Center after the victory, despite Mayor Eric Garcetti's plea to maintain social distancing. Police arrested 76 people. 3 were injured by LAPD officers firing non-lethal rounds. Several businesses were also damaged. We talked to a public health expert about the risks these kind of gatherings pose.
By June, we have overwhelming evidence that this disease is airborne, particularly when the location, the venue is not well ventilated. And given that it is airborne, even in outdoor, in close proximity, it can be contagious because it is airborne.
The Dodgers take on the Atlanta Braves tonight for Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Both teams have been flawless throughout the playoffs, going 5-0, and killed it in the regular season, finishing 1-2 in runs scored. That's all we have for sports. Back to you, Lauren.
Starting tonight, Dodgers fans can watch the National League Playoff Series in their own car at Dodger Stadium. The Dodger Drive-In is a safe way for fans to show their support during the pandemic. Dodgers fans can buy a ticket online for $75 per car. There will be no concessions for sale on site, so fans are encouraged to bring their own food and non-alcoholic beverages. Everyone is required to wear a mask if they get out of their car to use the restroom. For tickets, go to dodgers.com/drive-in. Wow, that sounds like an awesome activity that really follows the CDC's guidelines. What do you think, Amanda?
Yes, Lauren, I completely agree. I really like the part about bringing your own food, though.
That's a huge perk for me as well. Well, that wraps it up for us on this Monday. Thanks for tuning in.
From all of us at Annenberg TV News, have a good night.